Hi everyone, it's Mike here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So it's time for another mission inspiration over in our Mission Inspiration Facebook group. It's week 23, can you believe it already? So without further ado, let me turn over to my overhead camera and I'll show you the prompt for the week and what I'm going to do. So this is the prompt for week 23, harmony. So embrace the symphony of balance and unity in life. Like a well-tuned orchestra, let each aspect of your existence play its part. Navigate with grace, for in harmony find peace and fulfillment. Celebrate the blend of contrasts where every note of silence contributes to the beautiful, cohesive melody of your journey. God, that was a mouthful. I nearly said celebrate the end instead of celebrate the blend. Anyway, so that's the prompt for week number 23. So we've got harmony, we've got balance, we've got yin and yang, we've got the light and the dark, we've got all those kind of concepts to play with. I'm going to play with harmony in balance and in colour today. So looking at the colours in the main kind of oracle image of the lady stood with the circles, I've gone to one of my new paper sets. This is the Retro Collage paper set, if you haven't seen this already. So this is full of beautiful kind of retro colours. Again, the blend and balance of harmony of colours. It's the same kind of colour palette all the way through. Those beautiful oranges, the muted yellows, the ochres, the retro blues, the reds, and oh, it's just, I love this paper pad. But then again, I would, because I'm biased, because my name's on the front. So what I've also done is I've gone through my paper collection and I found some, or cardstock collection, I found some of this cardstock from way back. When I used to do a lot of card making, and this just works with this colour palette beautifully. I mean, it just works really nice. So I'm going to be working, that's going to be my framework for the page, and then I'm going to be sticking into my journal. So yeah, there's a mixture of chaps and ladies in this paper set, if you haven't seen this already. So this is available on my website now to buy. Henry Cavill. It does so look like Henry Cavill. Well, in my mind anyway. And of course, straight out of Bridgerton, that one. So I think we're going to do, I think I'm going to use him actually. I'm going to cut him out and use him as the basis of my page, my focal point in the page. And then I'm going to use some of the other colours, the other background patterns. Maybe it's like this one, I don't know, let's just, I might maybe even that one. That's the beauty of these, because you can cut sections off, keep that for later, and then use that, cut it up and use different sections for it. I'm just going to build up a collage of different colours, different balances, and I'm going to create clusters based on the colours on this, onto this background here. And it's just going to be a see as we go. So, like I said, I've already stuck down my prompts. So I'm going to be working on this side. That's going to be going in my journal. That's going to be the base that I'm going to stick down. So everything that I do is going to go onto this piece of cardstock first of all. Right, let me get my stuff together. My glue, my scissors, my knife, all that kind of stuff, and then I'll be right back. I've just had to play Hunt the Cutting Mat. I had a small blue A4 self-healing cutting mat and I can't find it anywhere. It's disappeared. Hey ho, such is life. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut out my mister from the background, and I'm just going to use a scalpel. I've put a new blade in it this morning because my old one, you could You could ride bare ass to London down on it, as Ian's mum used to say. She did. She was a right character. So let's just follow the line of his trouser leg down there, very gently cut there. So if you were wondering about the weight of paper in these paper pads, they are 170 GSM. So fairly decent weight. In Imperial for our American cousins, it's £115. If you're familiar with the weight of Tim Holtz's cardstock, his paper pads, his 12x12s and his 8x8s, it's the same. So it's the same weight as what Tim uses. It's uncoated, which means you can paint and write on it. There's no glossy sheen or shine or satin, because you know what I'm like with shine on stuff like this. I don't like it, so as soon as my name's on it, it ain't going on. So I'm not cutting out bang perfect, because I'm hoping it's going to blend into the background anyway. There we go. So he should just fall out. There we go. And then we'll just cut that little hole out for his arm. So as I've said previously, the inspiration for the colour palette for this paper pad was pretty much based on wallpapers from the 1970s. So right, we've got that. So what I'm going to do, it's such a shame to waste him, so I'm not. I can go back in the pack. Right, so what I can do now is I can use this side. So let's just cut some strips out of this. So it doesn't matter whether you tear them or cut them with a knife, it doesn't really make any difference. So I'm just going to do wobbly lines coming all the way down. See how that colour just kind of blends, just works really well. Okay. And then just split that down the middle. And then what I'm going to do is just mix it up a little bit so that there's no follow on, if you like. So none of the text actually looks like it's following on. And then just for balance, I'll put one at this side as well. So that's kind of what I'm going to do there, and we'll do that there like so. Right, now I need to go hunting through to try and find another sheet that I could layer in the background again. So let's have a quick flick. Right, you just talk amongst yourselves for a second while I'll just flick through and decide which one I'm going to cut up next. All right, so I've kind of settled on this one because I like the colours here, which I think are going to complement the cardstock that we've got there too. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to see if I can create that lovely kind of arch. So we'll just follow that round. And then bring that down to here. And then just kind of bring that down this way. All right, so again, I've got another real cool image that I can keep for another day, but let's just see whether or not, because we've got collage there, yeah, I don't think we need that. Lovely. Right, I think I know where we're going with this now. So we'll keep those to one side there. Keep that to one side, and then what I want to do is just to kind of keep that balance. Just a little bit down that side and about there. So let me just trim that off. I'm just being very, very careful, not putting a lot of pressure down on the knife. Like I said, it's a new scalpel blade this morning, so I just have to be very, very careful. And then there we go. So that should now have created a little bit of a frame. Haven't really got to the corners there. Collages are fun because you can kind of make your own world, do your own little compositions. And I just need to remove a little bit from the top. So we'll take about there from the top. And we'll just take another little strip down that side. This is only so I can get a little bit of that russet cardstock border to show through. So theoretically that should now sit within there with a little bit of a border all the way around. Like it. Right, so let's grab some glue. What I'll do is I'll add just some scratch paper. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue at the top. Just try and position that. I'm trying to do this without getting my head in shot. There we go. So we can stick that down there. Now our chap can go underneath as well as over the top. So as long as I leave that little bit stuck up there, we're all right. So let's flip that up. Run a bit of glue down there. And then I can add a bit of glue just to the back of his legs. Tuck that under. So let's have him about there. And then I can just run some glue up. And then just a spot there where his head's going to go. Because it's a collage, I'm not particularly bothered about getting everything stuck down perfectly. Right, Now we can just run a bead of glue down there. Just widen that a little bit. That'll do. Just see how those colours are kind of matching. Love it. Right, so now I'm going to run some of these up here. So let's grab that glue stick again. I really need to stock up on these glue sticks because I'm running out. Or they're running out. So because the text as well is kind of almost illegible, it doesn't matter whether you can read it or you get it the right way up. It really doesn't make the slightest bit of difference. So let's just tear a bit off there then. I love doing collages like this. So let's turn it upside down. Just to show we don't care. And then that one. And the other thing about not sticking everything down, like on the edges, means that when you come to do something like this and you think, oh, I really want to tuck it under, you still can. That needs to go the other way around. I didn't tear any off there, did I? Let's just shuffle him down a little bit. There we go. And then just again, for that balance bit, I'm going to cut a real thin strip. Just wobble the knife down so you've not got a straight line. And then that can go, still a bit too long. Let's take a bit off the top there and add that to there. Like so, which just kind of breaks up that side, but also just adds that little bit of balance. Okay, I'm liking that so far. So let me just let that dry for a few seconds and then I'll be back. All right, so the next step, I want to introduce some circles into the page. So I've got some circle punches, different sizes, 1 3/4, 1 1/2. I've got a 1 3/8, and I've got a 1 inch punch there, just so that I've got a little bit of variety. And what I've done is I've just punched a couple of circles out from that russet cardstock, what was left over from the sheet. So waste not, want not. And I've also punched out a couple of circles from some of the scrap bits from the papers that we've got, but I want a couple more. I want another largish one. So we've got 1 3/8 and 1 1/2 there. So we'll go 1 1/2, that's 4/8. So it's just going to be just slightly bigger And if I do 1 3/4, sorry, 3/8. Let's try and get some of that kind of russety, terracotta-y colour in there. So that is going to be almost, but not quite. So we've got a little bit, so 3 circles there for composition and a bit of balance. So let's get some of this stuck down first. So that's the nice kind of russet colour cardstock. And that's going to break up, but follow that kind of arch. So we'll break those straights up there with that circle. And then I'm just going to stick this in, but at a different angle. And I'm just going to do it offset. Let's get some more scratch paper. That'll do. So it's almost, but not quite. And then we'll do the same thing with this larger one down here. That sounds like the rattle collar of Mr. Bentley. Yes, it is. And I'm going to do that one down here just to mirror top and bottom. So we've got that balance and the harmony from top to bottom. And I'll do the same thing there. So it's just coming out, but not quite. And then the smaller one, I don't think I've actually got one that's just bigger than 1 inch. I could do with 1 inch and 1.25 or 1 inch and I haven't got 1.5 inches. Is that 1.5 inches? 1 3/8, which is less than 1.5 inches, isn't it? That is smaller then. But not quite. So the larger cluster. Let me just go see if I've got something a bit more closer to what I need. All right, so I had nothing that was hugely different, or hugely similar, sorry. They're more different than they are similar. So I could either go smaller or exactly the same size. I've discovered that I've got 4 1-inch punches. Why? I've got no idea. So that means I need to be on the lookout for one that's maybe 1.25 inches, maybe, or maybe slightly smaller, maybe like 3/4 inch. Who can say? Maybe that one and that one probably are going to be closer than that one and that one. So that's obviously 1/2 inch. But anyway, I think I'm getting hung up on size. Stop sniggering. Right. Let's add that. Yeah, I think it does need to be maybe there, just to break that up. And then we'll use that one. But you know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm also going to add that smaller circle just there in the middle. Blink and you'll miss it, I think. I might just add another one, smaller one. Just to kind of balance the composition in there. Cool. All right. Time for a quick shufty around, tidy up, put these punches away so that I know where they are next time I need them, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got my quote for the page, so I'm just going to cut it down a little bit. I've sort of trimmed it out already, just printed it off on the computer. And then do the same thing to this one. Now this does jar a little bit because it's bright white. So what I could do is I could maybe go and find some antique or old, is it old paper or antique linen distressing, just to go over the top, just to kind of get it to blend a little bit. Now, do I have one to hand? Old paper. Yeah, look. Old paper, just there. So, let's have a look. Just going to take that stark whiteness away, just to kind of blend a little bit. I'm not putting a huge amount on the blending foam. But it just takes the white away. And then I'm going to stick them both onto the russet cardstock. Like so. And then just get the scissors, and then I can just trim those out roughly to start off with. And then I can come back in and just tidy them up. I just want a hint of that russet kind of cardstock in there. Like so. So I think, yeah, I think we'll have those at the bottom. Because the composition is kind of heavier towards the top. So I think it does need to have that counterbalance. Or should I? No, I think we're good to go just there. There you go. So we'll have that at the top, and we'll have it totally balanced by having that coming out just there. So I just did notice that I never did stick that part down. I'm loving it. All right, so what did I do with my original page? Just flick all that mess out of the way, turn that over, and then we'll get the big glue. And then let's get that stuck down with that little bit of a white border all the way around, just to make it pop. Okay, so I'll just hold that for a few seconds while it grabs. See if I've got some heavy stuff that I can just stick in the corners. There we go. And I'll be back in a second. Okay, so that's now stuck down. So I think I'm happy with the way that's turned out. So, and I hope you've enjoyed watching me create it too. So if you have enjoyed watching me create this, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, because it really does help. Don't forget you can share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. If you want to join us over in our Mission Inspiration Facebook group, that's the URL on the screen there, but there is a clickable link in the description area below. So that's all from me for this week. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget, you can access your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. There's a link in the description area below. Thank you.